Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And right now, man, some of these boxing fans, in my opinion, are losing. Now, you know me. You're welcome to have your own opinion. You say what you want. Freedom of speech. I support that 100%. But you got to respect the fact that I have freedom of speech too, and so do other people who aren't going to agree with you. Now, black people not agreeing with Claressa Shields, all of a sudden, people want to come out here and call them sellouts. Somebody told me, man, you sounding racist. How am I sounding racist? Y'all got to stop this. That's dangerous to have that kind of mentality. We're talking about boxing. We're talking about fighters. We're talking about fighters with fighters' attitudes. On this channel, I talked about everybody. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Malik Scott, Adrian Broner, Devin Haney, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad, De La Hoya, Mosley, Roy Jones Jr. Talk about Savannah Marshall, talk about Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I talk about everybody in this channel. Right now we got a little Claressa Shield wave going on. We got a Shield wave, a.k.a., well, let me say we got a heat wave, a.k.a. a Shields wave going on right now. Because the shit's hot. But let's get something straight. Y'all got to stop this nonsense. Disagreeing with Claressa Shields doesn't make you a sellout. Sellout, outsell, sellout. Just means you don't agree. But when you make Nicholases come out here and start talking that bullshit, that's what makes y'all dangerous. That's what makes people look at Claressa Shields and say, damn, her supporters, this is the kind of people she has in the circle. These are the kind of people that see her out and be like, yeah, Guot, yeah, Guot. If they ain't with you, they against you. They sell out. They're coons. They're racist. No, they're just boxing fans who are sitting here looking at her like, yo, the attitude, that's not good. It's not going to get her that far. She attacked the Ali legacy. We don't like it. She's a bit of a narcissist. She's obsessed with Laila Ali. If you look at it, a blind man can see. I'm not making this up. She has attacked almost everybody. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul, other women, promoters, everybody. It's like you go to somebody's house and they got that badass dog in there, and you know when you knock on that door, ring that doorbell, they can only crack that door just a little bit because that dog is all you see is them teeth and that nose, and he's trying to push that shit through the door. That's how we feel with Claressa Shields. It's like the knock on the door is us making a comment about her. You know, once you do that door go. If they open up that conversation, you know what's coming through there. This vicious pit bull, and her fans are behind you, trying to bite you. Don't make you a sellout, man, just because you're having a conversation about Claressa Shields. So what does that make me when I'm giving a conversation telling you about all the great things she's done in boxing? What about when I praise her? Y'all don't hear that shit. Y'all just hear the things that you don't like. So it shows me that there needs to be some growth on your end, some maturity on your end. And if you got some gray in your hair like me and you're sitting out here reacting like that, then you dropped the ball. Okay? And you're not performing to your potential. I don't believe in calling people failures. That's a hard word. I like to dress it up and say you're not performing to your potential. And Claressa Shields ain't performing to her goddamn potential. Make you a sellout. It makes you a thinker. When you sit here and look at shit that's going on with people and you start to comment on it. Claressa Shields has us thinking. Doesn't have us becoming racist. Because somewhere along the line, people are getting it twisted, man. Think about being black means you're required to support someone. No matter what they say or do, as long as they share your skin color, that's Black Lives Matter. Or we should be having a BLM movement here for Claressa Shields. Get out of here with that bullshit. That's not unity. That's blind loyalty. And blind loyalty is dangerous. I don't operate like that. So if that's what you're looking for over here, man, adios, Negros. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not that guy. If there's something else going on that I fell underneath, that race umbrella, right? And there was an injustice, something, that encompasses race, I would probably talk about it. Especially if it's blatant, because that shit is foul. Just like when Teofimo Lopez, he's a great fighter. All that shit about bananas and all that, I did videos on that shit. And I got a great sense of humor. But he went overboard. Like, that shit stopped being from yeah, ha ha, I get it, banana jokes, funny shit. You know what I mean? Look, I got a sense of humor. Ain't nothing off limits with me. But that shit went beyond just, I seem a little personal. Ryan Garcia, I got a great sense of humor. But that shit he did, that shit Ryan Garcia did, it's like, nah. We can't laugh at that. We can't laugh at that. That's why I don't support that dude, man. That is crazy shit. But just because we're not out here supporting Claressa Shields BS, don't come put us in that same category as a Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. The Claressa Shields and Laila Ali drama, turned into something much deeper than boxing. And it's going to keep getting deeper and deeper as more people who are in positions to really, deepen that fucking hole and just continue to dig out that trough, right? The more those people start to get wind of what's going on, it's only going to get uglier. Y'all think this shit is over. This shit's just starting. I think it's just starting. This whole thing has become a mirror for how we as a community handle accountability. And Claressa fans, some of them anyway, has started labeling anyone who disagrees with her as a sellout or as a hater. But let's be real, not everyone criticizing Claressa is coming from a place of hate. Some of them are coming from a place of love. At least that's where I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying? I don't respect her, but I don't want to see her fall on her face. A place of disappointment because they expected better from her. I see a concentric few who just take an opportunity to just say wild shit about her. But the majority of people out here is like, we just don't understand how we got here with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you. The way Laila Ali laid out those videos was something brilliant. And what it did is just let Claressa, it should have taught her a lesson. Leave people alone. Because half of that shit, man, we weren't even aware of. We weren't even aware of. Both of those videos were violent. And what I mean by violent is just the way it damaged Claressa Shields' image. And the thing is, it wasn't anything Laila Ali was doing or saying. It was what Claressa Shields was doing and saying. Laila Ali just said, hey, she's saying this about me. Hey, take a look at her. I don't have nothing to say. We deal with facts, not feelings. Hey, look. And you couldn't sit but to be, mesmerized with the breakdown. It's like, damn. I'm going to keep telling you, every time I do a video, I got to throw it out there. Claressa Shields is great. There's no need to debate that. And I haven't seen anybody say Claressa Shields can't fight. Nobody said that. I remember Zab Judah talking about, it's not that if Zab can fight. Nobody says if Zab can fight. Everyone knows Zab Judah can fight. It's what version of Zab Judah shows up. And for us, it's kind of like that with Claressa Shields. We all know she can fight, but what version of Claressa Shields is going to show up now? This is her opportunity to straighten shit out, clean things up, learn from all them great fighters from the past who had it all, and because of attitude, poor choices, taking a victim stance, wanting to be real, they threw that shit away. So what's she going to do? That's what I want to see. All of them 2 gold medals and everything she did as a boxer and undisputed distinctions and all that. Look, man, that shit is rare air, all right? She achieved things that male or female, you probably won't see anybody else do. She got 20-something, 19-something world championships or some shit. Crazy. What Claressa Shields has done, no one's done. You got to put respect on that. But greatness and skill doesn't excuse poor behavior. Poor behavior. And that's the issue here, especially for the McNicholas supporters. You know what I'm saying? 3 blind mice. See how they run. Right down a path of destruction. It's not about people denying her accomplishments. Get over that bullshit, man. We all saying great things. Hear everything. Don't hear the whole conversation, not just what you don't want to hear. They're just holding her accountable for her attitude and her actions. Y'all should be holding her accountable. Y'all should be holding yourself accountable too. Claressa has a track record of belittling everyone, her peers, disrespecting boxing legends, painting herself as the victim. We don't want to hear that no more. And when she went after, the GOAT's daughter, the real GOAT, Laila Ali. Laila Ali is universally respected. You gonna go after her? That was the final straw for a lot of fans, including many black boxing fans who once cheered her on. When you attack the daughter of Ali, you're not just throwing shade, you're digging at legacy, you're poking at someone scared. And if we're gonna talk about being black, being proud, you take so much pride in that. How can you go after Muhammad Ali's daughter and say all the things you said and lie on her the way you lied on her? You're really about black pride, black lives, or you about that green cha-ching ching, Wu-Tang cream, dollar bill, y'all? That's what really matters to you? Ain't about color, it's about character, man. Boxing fans tired of seeing Claressa Shields and her fans now turn every disagreement into a pity party. Talks about the haters, racism, jealousy, everything except her own behavior. And trust me, we know Claressa Shields we know it ain't easy for her. We know it ain't easy for her. But don't come down and project and try to make it hard for other people. Don't do that. But I'm telling you, I know it ain't easy for her. That's why when I talk just about the attitude. I talk about boxing. I don't come out here and making my intention to break her down about things that really are outside of boxing. If I talk about anything, it's things that she's thrown out, the things she's done. When I start talking about her maybe hating herself, because she talk about light-skinned people, she talk about pretty, she talk about hair texture, she talk about all that bullshit. Those are things she said that have you like, what? Why is she talking about that? You know what I'm saying? Why are you looking at somebody talking about that? That's why I never understood that shit. Everybody different, but I never looked at no man talking about nothing. Even when we used to be in the gym working out and boxing and lifting weights and running marathons, it was more positive. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, making jokes. Yo, man, what you eat, man? You must wake up and just eat steak and potatoes every day. Benching 500 pounds, motherfucker. Joking, laughing. I'm out here hitting 385 back in the day. I got someone doing 500. I'm like, yo, fuck you pushing 500 pounds. Oh, man, I got my stack. I take this, I take that. Like, that's too much supplements for me, man. I'm just straight protein and creatine. We laugh and joke. Always laughing and joke. Friends of mine, we always laugh and joke about shit. Even this thing, she talk about hair. It ain't no secret that I cut my hair low. My hair is wavy and straight. I let it grow and get curly, right? Anybody watch the video? A lot of people comment on that. But there ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing surprised for someone to make a comment about my hair. A lot of my friends ask me, yo, man, damn, man, man, you got that good hair. You got that this. I'm like, it's just hair, brother. It's just hair. We could switch. Y'all with them Caesars and the do-rag and the waves and shit. I'll give you this blow in the wind shit. Let's switch for a week. You'll be running back to your shit. We joke and laugh, but it ain't no hate, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. I just really don't understand. But these are things that Claressa Shields seem to be worried about. I don't know what it is with her. It seems like there's a little bit of jealousy. She's just looking at everything except her own behavior. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's not growth. There's a lot of ego with her when you just want to look at the other people. And maybe you think that they have something, or they're benefiting somehow from something that you're looking and you're seeing that they have that you don't have, and for some reason you develop a dislike for them. That ain't good, man. That shit is a lot of ego, a lot of confusion, and you're not gonna grow when you're like that. And when fans, especially black fans, they call that shit out, that's not selling out, man. It's called honesty. And trust me, there's there's a lot of people, man, who they don't want to be categorized as an angry person, as a person that's incompetent, incapable, a person with an attitude, a person on the edge. You know what I'm saying? You know how many different adjectives they have out there, man, that they label people with? I've been through all of us, I'm sure, have been through some of that bullshit. You know, and then when you come to race, every race goes through their own share of shit. But we ain't talking about that. We just talking about this whole thing about being black and the labels. If you're so concerned about your brand and everything else, you know what? It's one of the first things you got to do is look at yourself and see how you can tighten and polish up and make refinements and become a better person, man, because ultimately you benefit. But Claressa, I haven't seen her make any effort, and I'm going just off of her behavior and attitude alone, to put herself in a better emotional space. She just keeps like crashing out to me. And I'm going to tell you this, real support isn't pretending someone's right when they're wrong. I listened to her live the other day, just for about 5-10 minutes. You got people on there, everything she says, they're like, yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm, yeah, you're right. I'm like, God damn, no one gonna disagree with her? Then when you get somebody on the live who disagrees with her, everybody tries to dogpile that one person and tell them how they're wrong and cuss and raise their voice and start using the N-word and getting ignorant towards the one person. So that's all I needed to hear. You got to understand, my background a little bit different from some of these cats. I can't take that shit. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You're not wrong if you tell someone that, if you call somebody out on this shit. It's telling them the truth so they can do better. You know what I'm saying? And the sellout label is lazy thinking. All this shit about people who sellouts because they ain't... So we sellouts why? Because we agree with Laila Ali? How does that make us a sellout? What are we supposed to do here? So what's Laila Ali? Chop suey? Got to talk about that sellout bullshit. The word sellout used to mean nothing. It meant abandoning your people for money, fame, or approval. That's what it meant. But nowadays, people throw it around anytime a black person holds another black person accountable. Sellout. Coon. You a racist. That's not empowerment. That's emotional manipulation. That shit don't live over here. It gets no play over here. If you bring that shit over here, kicking that shit back out the door, get the fuck out my house. Emotional manipulation is a problem. You're calling someone a sellout for telling the truth. You're basically saying, and it's my opinion, we can never grow. You're saying we can't correct our own. That's exactly why so many people feel frustrated with Claressa's fan base right now. Nobody's saying that we should tear her down. Nobody's saying she doesn't deserve respect for her talent. What we're saying is you can't weaponize race every time you criticize. This is not oppression, this is consequence. And let me tell you something. You know, I've been through my share of shit. I don't talk about a lot of it on here because I'm here to talk boxing. But if y'all knew who I was, y'all knew my name, I'm telling you. I know how that shit goes. I know how it is to be coming in a building where they're doing security checks because the threat count levels have been elevated. And you can let people in based on facial recognition. And I've been around these people working for 3 years. And we're coming in the morning to work, and all from the same office. They let the 2 girls in, let the guy in. I come there, they stop me and check my fucking ID. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Facial recognition. But we had to check IDs. You didn't check those 3 motherfuckers. Oh, well, I'm like, I ain't giving you no motherfucking ID. Bitch. We work together, you motherfucker. You just let those 2 in. And then you let the guy in. And then those 3 are standing there like, what the fuck are y'all doing to this guy? But I knew what the fuck it was. So without me getting into anything else, I'll leave that alone. But don't come out here talking stupid to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe in freedom of speech. I'll let y'all say whatever. But I may just block when you dumb motherfuckers. You talking that shit to me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. Just like I don't know y'all. But I go off of what y'all say. When I see people posting that bullshit, that emotional manipulation don't do nothing here but fucking get me aggravated. Fuck that. Ain't nothing stopping me from being motherfucking successful. It shouldn't stop y'all. And you allow someone to emotionally manipulate you to where now all of a sudden you want to come and say something different because of this fucking prick. Get out of here. And excuse my language. I know I don't cuss like that. Well, I do. I just don't do it on the channel. But if something get under my skin, especially about this, I just don't agree with that. That shit's ruining young people, man. Young people have so much opportunity. There's still some obstacles and shit. Got to stretch and everything and leap over them. I know how it is. But don't come out here, man, ruining the next generation with that bullshit. And don't bring that shit on my channel. It gets no play over here, no love, no support over here. It ain't happening, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous place to live. It's a dangerous place to live when you have a mentality like that. Fuck that shit. It ain't happening. And again, it ain't just Claressa Shields. It's the supporters too. Every time she gets criticized, they want to jump online saying all kind of bullshit. Nobody wants to see her win because she's black. Listen. No, we don't want to see her. We don't want to see her win. Okay, we just don't want to see her self-destruct. See, y'all can't even see it. I'm telling you, I've seen this shit play out before. It doesn't matter that she's a millionaire. I've seen it play out before. I'm telling you, I've seen this shit play out. And when the real deal starts, they fall apart, man. You don't think I'm playing? Let Claressa Shields get in a competitive fight, but win. But a really competitive fight. Let her get dropped, but win. Watch her spiral out of control. Let Papoose leave her. Watch her spiral out of control. What y'all gonna say then? You understand? We need to be truthful with her to get her on the right path. I don't want to see her self-destruct. That's just being real. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. You know what I'm saying? I want her to understand that. One inspires. We want to see that confidence. We know she's got it, but it's morphed into arrogance. Fuck that shit. We want to see her inspired. She's got it. She's got it, man. She's got everything. Everything. But she's out here isolating. Right now, Claressa Shields is living in isolation. She only want to be around her circle of the people who are going to sit here and tell her the things she wants to hear, man. This is a learning opportunity. Matter of fact, this is a learning opportunity for everyone. Everybody, whether you support her, you don't, you agree with her, you don't, you like her, you don't, you respect her, you don't. Just sit back and look at this as a case study. I know a lot of people in here educated, probably some millionaires, billionaires, some broke people. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. We can all learn. Just really sit back and someone posted something the other day. Man, you really having fun with this. Man, yo, this shit is interesting to me. That's why I'm doing so many videos. Like, this is really interesting. You know what I'm saying? I got my claws sunk deep into this shit because I can sit here, man, and use this as an example when I'm talking to kids, when I'm talking to youths, and I'll be like, yo, there was this female fighter, and break it all down to them. They'll be like, yeah, I'm like, but this is what the fuck happened. You know what I mean? The confidence turned to arrogance, the bad attitude, and I can give my card brief, the one I told you about the other day, C-A-R-D, C for communication, verbal and written, and then your nonverbals, A for your attitude, R, respectful, reliable, responsible, and D, discipline. I can tie this in. This right here fits perfectly into that briefing that I taught for 25 years. But we can't be turning this shit into a us versus them moment. This ain't us versus them. We going against the white man? White man, YT, what, the YouTube man? That's the white man. That's the only white man I see around this motherfucker. YT, YouTube. The YouTube man. This ain't no us versus them moment. Claressa and her supporters should be using this as a learning opportunity. We all can. This is a chance for Claressa to step back, self-reflect, and recognize that criticism isn't always hate. Sometimes it's guidance. Sometimes it's people saying, hey, you're too good to be acting like this. What you doing there? What's the story? What's the scene? Where you going with all this bullshit? Laila didn't respond out of jealousy. People talking about, oh no, Laila's jealous of Claressa. No, Claressa said Laila's jealous. Laila ain't jealous of no damn Claressa. fans are speaking out of hate, man. The whole situation is simply cause and effect. You can't disrespect an icon and expect everyone to stay quiet. It's not how it works. If Claressa truly wants to grow, as a fighter, as a brand, as a person, she has to learn the difference between being targeted and being told the truth. And she's just being told the truth, man. The bigger picture with this whole thing is, Claressa's talent could have made her a global icon. Claressa Shields, no kidding, could have been made a global icon. She could have been the face of women's boxing, face of endorsements, face of documentaries, the whole 9 yards. And I understand this ain't basketball. This isn't tennis. You know what I'm saying? This isn't track and field. This is boxing. I understand. It's tough enough for guys to get big-time endorsements and everything, but I just have a different mentality. And although I understand how difficult things can be, I just look at myself and my own struggles, my own little impediments and shit I had to sort out and figure a way to get beyond. And look at all the success I've been able to have, man. And I ain't talking about YouTube. And I'm just telling you, man, success don't have no color. There are some challenges, there are some things that we have no control of, but I'm going to tell you this again. What you have control of, control it. And Claressa Shields has a lot of things that she can have control of and she ain't controlling. Starting with her fucking mouth. Starting with her attitude. And the same thing for anyone out here who's supporting all that bullshit going on by Claressa Shields. And anyone supporting anybody who's just being mean towards Claressa just because she's the easy person to pick on right now. All of it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? All of it's wrong. But attitude determines altitude. And right now, her attitude is grounding her flight. The whole situation should have been seen as a teachable moment for every young athlete out there. You can be confident without being condescending. You can be proud without being problematic. The black community deserves better role models, and Claressa still has a chance to be one. If she learns from this and stops blaming everyone else, this isn't betrayal, it's accountability. And accountability is love in disguise. So at the end of the day, calling out Claressa Shields doesn't make you a sellout. It makes you real. It means you care enough about community to want better behavior from those who represent it. Claressa Shields can fight. Nobody can take that away from her. But what she's fighting now isn't opponents, it's perception. And I'm going to tell you, those Ali videos, that hurt Claressa Shields' perception big time. But it was Claressa Shields. It was Claressa Shields. She didn't do nothing but show us Claressa Shields. And the only way to win that fight that Claressa Shields has going on is with humility, not the hostility. And that seems to be all she knows. But again, this conversation isn't about race, it's about responsibility. So no, you're not a sellout for calling her out. You're not just letting ignorance slide. So anybody who wants to sit there and call people sellouts and say a bunch of bullshit, stop letting ignorance slide and hold people accountable. Claressa Shields fans getting it wrong. It has nothing to do with race. Laila Ali and Claressa Shields, they both came out, were able to plead their cases, and Laila Ali won. Goddamn simple. I'm about to go shopping with my sons, man. Y'all keep cool in the breeze.